This video is being released on the 29th of April, 2025. 10 years ago, to the day, my first ever fantasy booking video was uploaded to YouTube in which I tackled the summer of punk. 10 years later, after a career consisting of a great many ups and downs, this video will launch my brand new, creator-owned YouTube channel, Blumpco, a home for my wrestling content, my board game content, and also whatever the hell I feel like making. Now, this is all possible because of my Patreon. I'm going to try and make Blumpco as small, personal, non-monetized, non-sponsored, and as ad-free as I possibly can, because that's the content I most enjoy watching and the content I most enjoy making. And that'll only be possible through my Patreon, which has been running since January. I'm only able to record on this camera with these lights, with this mic, because of that Patreon. So if you enjoy this video, please consider joining it. It's got multiple unseen booking videos over there, some exclusive board game playthroughs, podcasts, pay-per-view watch-alongs, pay-per-view reviews, and I'll have lots more in the future. If you can't, it's fine, but it'll help me make this channel the best that it can be if you did join. No more plugging. Let's get on with the booking. Hello, I'm Adam, your doctor of smugonomics at BlampCo Incorporated, telling stupid wrestling stories since 2015. And welcome to Adam Blampier Fantasy Books, where I create alternate pro wrestling realities and challenge promotions to do it better, 'cause I'm a smartass. Once upon a Johnny Cena, scarcely was a wrestler cleaner. Over 20 years the whole damn roster he ran through. And though his support was thinning, so John Cena kept on winning. Though throughout the crowd was ringing a hearty chorus screaming boo. And yet as they demanded change, his character refused. Quoth John Cena, "Waboo-doo." So began his movie era. Cena's dates were growing rarer, his laurel crown of winning handed to a wrestler new. He would make the odd recording, titles now no longer hoarding, and quite evidently balding. More popular old Johnny grew. He had the fans' respect, yea, and their admiration too. Quoth John Cena, "Waboo-doo." But then in 2024, the aging vet did take the floor, announcing after 2025 that he'd be through. With 11 months remainder at Elimination Chamber, John became a total stranger and did stage a bloody coup and ruined WrestleMania with his most unmotley crew. Quoth John Cena, "Waboo-doo!" Despite precisely no one asking for it, John Cena has turned heel in the last run of his career. And while that blew us all away when it happened at Elimination Chamber, he cut some brilliant promos telling this child in particular to fuck off. Suddenly, after WrestleMania, a big Travis Scott-shaped question mark has appeared, hovering on the horizon of this storyline that still could feel like one of the biggest of the decade if they do it right. How should John Cena's title run pan out? And how should he ride off into the hustle, loyalty, sunset? Here's my plan for the summer of Cena and beyond. And because I love good wrestling, and because Mania 41's main event was not good wrestling, I would be very pleased if WWE could do it better. Waboo-doo! So let's start with a bit of hindsight made possible after The Rock's frankly infuriating interview recently that basically confirmed, Rock was never going to do WrestleMania, they didn't really have a plan for the biggest storyline in a decade, and hey, isn't it nice to see Travis? No, it never is. Fuck off and take your $1,000 replica belt with you, you distracting fucking fan. And before any helpful souls remind me that John Cena promised to ruin wrestling and was just following through on his promise, my response to that is just because someone tells you they're going to shit on your pillow doesn't mean you're going to get a good night's sleep just because they followed through on their promise. I'd go so far as to say that if they were going to turn Cena heel, they should have sacrificed having a more interesting WrestleMania build and just done it in the match itself. Imagine how WrestleMania 41 would be remembered if the main event saw John Cena winning the title by turning heel. As Seth Rollins proved 10 years ago, a good swerve at WrestleMania makes everyone forget about a crap build and creates WrestleMania magic. Unfortunately, that is not the world we're living in. but you can dream. In my alternate reality that we're crafting in this little story here, we haven't seen The Rock since the first Raw on Netflix, so in our minds he's officially face, and so was John until the finish of WrestleMania 41 when he clocked Cody with the title to steal the win. And Travis Scott was doing what he does best, which is not being at WrestleMania. He did that real well for 40 fucking years. So after WrestleMania, Seth Rollins has turned heel, aligned with Heyman and Bron Breakker. Cena versus Orton one last time has been set up for Backlash, and that's all I know. If new develops happen after the 24th of April when I recorded this, I don't know him, so shut up and fuck off. It's nice to be back. Couple of things. I would have the growing stable of Rollins, Bron, and Heyman be called The Vision. Seth creating a vision for WWE because he's the visionary. Look, be quiet. The Vision is better than the names I rejected, including the Hounds of Injustice, Seth-Olution, the Seth Riders, Dr. Rollerball Sing-Along Bron, Justice League Bark, Shit Lads Anonymous, They See Me Rollins, They Heyman, and Captain Hairpiss and Clifford. Point is, the Vision is slightly better than most of those. Also, build backlash around the fact this is the last time John Cena and Randy Orton will ever wrestle. John Cena versus Randy Orton. Last in a lifetime. We promise we mean it this time. Ever since John Cena announced he was retiring back in 2024, everyone's been asking who his last opponent should be. I have my own guy earmarked for that, spoilers, but a lot of people were saying Randy Orton. And you guys saw those matches, right? I kind of get it. Things coming full circle is sort of my whole thing. Reincorporation tricks people into thinking that you're smart. But you remember the match at Unforgiven 2007 that saw Cena get DQ'd for punching Orton too much? Or the SummerSlam 09 match that was restarted 3 fucking times, or their least memorable TLC match in history in 2013, or their stinker at the Royal Rumble 2014. You know what sounds like the secret to fixing that track record? Both guys being 10 fucking years older. Now, I'm mostly kidding. They've had some good matches. They've had one good match, their I Quit match at Breaking Point. That was very good. I also kind of like the spot where Randy Orton tried to kill Cena with pyro. I'm hoping that WWE can close the book on Orton Cena, mostly because this guy is not holding the fucking book anymore. Maybe Triple H can not include some of the hateful booking that their matches were often most tarnished with. I'm just surprised, that's all, that this match is the one everyone's shining their nostalgia glasses for. Now, before the match, we see Paul Heyman talking to someone on the phone saying, "Yes, sir, it's all proceeding as planned. The Vision is coming together." Earlier in the night of Backlash, Punk and Reigns take on Rollins and Breakker. Seth pinning Punk after he gets distracted by Paul Heyman at ringside saying, "Oh no, don't look at my butt. Oh no, don't. Oh, don't look at my butt." After the match, Seth Rollins wraps a chair around Roman's neck and stomps on it, with Roman being carried off on a stretcher. Roman needs his holiday, everybody. And also, we get one more match between Rey Fenix and El Grande Americano. Mask versus mask. Rey takes a moment away from having an injured groin. My groin, to distract Americano, allowing for Phoenix to smash him with his own loaded mask. Americano is unmasked, and Chad Gable is humiliated. A humiliated Olympian? Well, I never. So at Backlash, for the last time ever, the final chapter in the literal infinity saga of Cena Orton, the ref goes down, Orton gets the RKO and the visual win, but the ref is still out, so Orton loads up for the punt. He runs in, but is speared by Bron Breakker. Cena wins with interference from Seth and Bron. Cena shakes Paul Heyman's hand, and Seth's version of Evolution gains one more member. Rollins is the Triple H, Cena is the Ric Flair, Bron is the Batista. We just need an Orton. Not Randy Orton. He just died. On the first Raw after Backlash, it's revealed that this has been the plan from the beginning. After all, it was thanks to Seth stomping Punk at Elimination Chamber that Cena got to WrestleMania in the first place, so he gives his version of the WWE title to Seth Rollins, who wears it going forward, as John Cena brings back The fucking Spinner Championship. This is mine, he says. This belongs to me. You don't get to tell me what kind of champion I am. I'm the kind of champion that spins. Paul Heyman tells Cena, don't worry, champ. The Vision will always have your back, just like we did at Backlash. Well, sure, says Cena, but at Backlash, I beat Randy Orton. I'm the one who beat him, as good as I ever was. Sure, says Paul Heyman. No, I am though, says John. You wouldn't lie, would you, Paul? I'm still good, aren't I? So why don't you just say that I'm still good? Paul Heyman says, you're the greatest of all time. Cena leaves and Paul just goes. Paul Heyman becomes a permanent part of John Cena's retinue, announcing him before every match because Cena keeps getting frustrated with the announcers' introductions. Heyman drops a little bit of the thugonomic rhyming in there. He's the best, the man, there's no one bolder, the spinning proof sits on his shoulder. He is the greatest of all time, John Cena! I've got hiccups. Fuck! We build towards King and Queen of the Ring. Now, I know that WWE is not currently planning it, but instead of Money in the Bank in June, I would have King and Queen of the Ring and push it. Fuck! We'll do a time skip until I cure my hiccups. All right, I've had some water. I think I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine. So we build towards King and Queen of the Ring. Now, I know that WWE is not currently planning that pay-per-view, which is a shame, because stop doing it like once every 4 fucking years. But instead of Money in the Bank in June, I would have the King and Queen of the Ring and push Money in the Bank to early July. The tournament competitors are being announced and Bron Breakker is put forward by the Vision. Chad Gable is down on his luck. American Made have left him. The Alpha Academy has left him. But Adam Pearce approached him to say that his application to be part of King of the Ring has been successful. Gable says, I didn't apply. No, said Pearce. But he did. Camera pans to reveal Kurt Angle. Hooray! Kurt gets it. Olympian, spent a lot of his career being the funny guy, but when the time came, he knew how to get serious, and he is going to make Chad Gable the Olympic wrestling machine. Fucking 8 years after Gable should have been the illegitimate son of Kurt Angle, finally pair up Chad with his spirit animal to help him get serious and help him get over. The finals of the King of the Ring sees Chad versus Bron, and after 20 grueling minutes, Bron Breakker wins, but Gable took him to the limit. Bron is going to SummerSlam against a champion of his choice, and he chooses Jey Uso. In the main event, Cena faces off against AJ Styles to have one more go at replicating their SummerSlam classic. Cena cheats to win. Karrion Kross still tries to get AJ to cheat, but Cena uses the brass knuckles instead, retains his title. The Vision looks to brutalize Styles after the match, but CM Punk runs down to make the save. On Raw, Seth Rollins says that the Vision is always going to be in John Cena's corner, and if they are, no one can beat him. But Cena says, right, but I didn't need you at King of the Ring. I won that match without any interference. I'm still good at wrestling, right? And Seth just says, yeah. Sending us, of course, and how could we not do it, to John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank. 14 years after their 5-star match that led to the Summer of Punk, the Summer of Cena is kicking off with Punk and Cena going to an all-time promo war. Punk finally feels vindicated that everything he said about John Cena being the corporate creation, being the New York Yankees, was right, and now John's a shell of himself. Cena reminds Punk that he was in the actual WrestleMania 41 main event, not the participation main event that made Punk cry. Seth Rollins enters himself into Money in the Bank. Bron is set to take the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. Cena has the WWE title. Rollins will take the briefcase to act as both men's shield. It's all part of the Vision. Oh my God, I've just realized what Seth Rollins' laugh reminds me of. It's the fucking Bioshock clown from the vending machines. Fill your cravings at the Circus of Values. Oh, I'm never going to be able to unhear it. and now neither will you. Seth Rollins looks like he's about to win the briefcase with Braun's help, but that's when Roman Reigns returns at Money in the Bank, spearing both Seth and Bron Breakker, and the winner of the briefcase ends up being Chad Gable. Backstage, Roman and Seth are seen brawling out of the arena. The main event of Money in the Bank sees CM Punk versus John Cena, who has Paul Heyman in his corner. CM Punk drags Heyman into the ring. Bron Breakker runs in, looks like he's about to hit Punk, but he moves and Bron spears Paul Heyman instead. Punk hits the GTS to Bron, has Cena up for the GTS, but as the ref is distracted by Bron and Heyman, while Punk has Cena on his shoulders, Drew McIntyre rolls into the ring and hits Punk with the Claymore. Drew drags Cena on top of Punk. Cena retains. The Vision have their fourth man. John Cena, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Drew McIntyre. Welcome to the Circus of Values! Cena blows CM Punk a kiss and escapes through the crowd. As Paul Heyman sees John Cena get in a car and drive away, he gets on his phone. Yes, sir. Your vision is complete. After all, Drew has always hated Punk. He's sick and tired of doing things on his own as he feels the system is rigged against him. Aye, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. I didn't even give it a good go. And I'm not doing it again. Punk and Roman run in to disrupt the Vision's gloating and are outnumbered until Cody Rhodes returns for the first time since WrestleMania on the Raw after Money in the Bank. He helps clear the ring and hits Cena with the Crossroads, drops the spinner belt on Cena's body and holds up the proper WWE title. So we head into SummerSlam. Here's how I see some of the matches on that card shaping up. Roman versus Rollins, one-on-one, with Roman finally beating Seth. Bron Breakker versus Jey Uso, with Bron Breakker becoming World Heavyweight Champion with Seth's help. Chad Gable versus Gunther, who have been feuding over the Money in the Bank briefcase. Gunther sees Money in the Bank as the ultimate disrespectful shortcut in the world of wrestling. He wants to win it off Gable so he can throw it in a river afterwards. Chad Gable finally, after it fucking should have happened at WrestleMania 40, avenges his daughter by out-wrestling Gunther with Kurt Angle's training. Punk versus Drew, last man standing. Drew finally gets a definitive win over CM Punk, and this time he manages it without anyone's help, using sheer Glasgow Radgy violence. In the main event, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, WrestleMania 2, Electric Boogaloo. During the build, Cody comes out and says, John, I know a lot of people will expect me to be angry at you, John. And don't get me wrong, while I was sitting at home nursing my pride, I was pissed. But the more I watched you, John, the more I watched you be assimilated into the Vision, watched you be unable to win a single match by yourself, watched you run back every classic feud you ever had, and each time they had your number, I stopped being angry at you, John. I was just sad for you. A goat in sheep's clothing. These people never left you, John. There's still time to do this on your own terms. Shake my hand, and we can have the WrestleMania match that we should have had. John Cena looks out at the crowd, looks at Cody's hand. Seth Rollins comes out to interrupt, says it doesn't matter if Cena is good enough. He's got us, and Cena punches Seth Rollins in the mouth. He shouts at a shocked Seth Rollins, I'm still good at wrestling. I am the one who never gave up. I am the greatest of all time. I'm the one with 17 world titles. I wouldn't have them if I wasn't good. And I am gonna fucking prove it. Seth Rollins storms off and Paul Heyman gets on his phone. Sir, I think we might need your help with this one. In the main event of SummerSlam, Cena tells the rest of the Vision to go back to the locker room. But in the finish of the match, in runs The Rock. Hits Cody with the rock bottom, tells John Cena to pin him. John Cena just bows his head and obeys. Cena holds his head down as The Rock holds up his arm and the WWE Championship. This was always The Rock's vision for WWE. On Raw, The Rock outlines that it never mattered that John Cena couldn't wrestle. An entire generation of people in charge at WWE knew that no matter what, Cena made the most money, so they pushed him to the top. He turns to John Cena and says, "That's why you've got 17 world titles, John. You're the cash cow and the guy I wanted to hold the title. Do you know how many of those spinners we've sold, John? It's incredible, and now you're going to accept Seth's help and let him carry you through this. Do you understand?" Cena just says, "Well, I just always thought," and The Rock puts one hand on his face. "It doesn't matter what you thought. Do you understand?" And Cena just says, "Yes." After SummerSlam, you have Clash in Paris. Bonjour, Pano Raisin. Charles de Gaulle. I didn't write that bit. So you treat Clash in Paris like the Uber house show that it is. John Cena versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Cody. And the Vision are just all over this match, but Cena is visibly upset that they keep helping him win. He pushes Drew away, but then Cody hits Cena with the crossroads. Before he can cover though, Seth Rollins stomps on Cody's head and drags the lifeless Cena on top of the lifeless Cody. 1, 2, 3, and this builds toward a match at a pay-per-view created especially for Cena by The Rock. Just like the McMahons created Rock Bottom for The Rock when he was corporate champion, The Rock makes Cena his own show called Never Give Up. He is looking to squeeze as much money as possible out of the John Cena character, reducing him to a bunch of slogans, and in some ways, he has always been that. It's just this is the first time that John Cena himself is actually coming to terms with what a corporate creation he is. The match is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena in an I Give Up match. Like an I Quit match, but the loser has to say, "I give up." The one backbone of Cena's character ever since he won his first world title. Ever since he turned face in 2003. For 22 years. Never give up was his slogan. And now Seth tells Cena to let go of his pride and take the money. Let the Vision help you. And Cena asks, "What if I don't?" And Seth says, "That would be a really bad idea." Fill your Both men keep refusing to give up throughout the match, but in the end, the Vision runs in. Initially, John Cena doesn't want their help, but Seth Rollins gets in his face and slaps him. And Cena smiles, hits Seth Rollins with the AA. Cody catches Cena with the crossroads, looks down, and locks him in the STF, and he locks it in fucking properly. He wrenches John Cena's neck, and John Cena's like, "Oh fuck, is this how it's supposed to hurt? Jesus Christ!" Cody wrenches him, and finally John Cena says, "I give up." Cody Rhodes becomes the new WWE champion, holds up the proper WWE championship, or I don't know, unveils a new one, fucking please. And afterwards, out comes The Rock, does his weird cutthroat thing where he ends up like running his finger fucking, "Why are you doing this, Rock? How have you never done this before in a movie?" Drew, Bron Breakker, and Seth Rollins then all take it in turns, brutalizing John Cena, bloodying him. The Rock puts the exclamation on it by first hitting Cody with the Rock Bottom, and then John Cena. "This is my vision," he says on Raw. "This is my vision for WWE, and not one of you candy asses can mess with my vision." Paul Heyman acknowledges The Rock as his tribal chief. Triple H books a War Games match for Survivor Series and tells Rock he's contractually bound to wrestle at the show. It's The Rock, Drew, Rollins, and Bron Breakker versus Roman, Punk, Cody, and question mark? I know, yes, I know you can guess who the question mark will be, but shut up. I'm telling the story my way. You shut. At War Games, Rollins starts off versus Cody. Then it's Rollins and Drew versus Cody. Then Rollins and Drew versus Cody and Punk. Then Braun enters. Then Roman. Finally for his team, The Rock saunters down, barely takes part. The timer runs down for the fourth man on Cody's team. Silence. Oh, you didn't know? That's right, you all guessed it would be Cena, so I got cross and now it's Road Dogg instead. You happy? Are you happy when you try and assume? It's John Cena. John Cena returns and The Rock says, now just hold on a second, John. There's still time to make this right. John Cena, just bring it in for a hug. Cena kicks Rock in the balls. Cody hits The Rock with the crossroads. Punk hits him with the GTS. And finally, Roman spears The Rock. Cena covers him. 1, 2, 3. And trust me, after the year it's been so far, that sounds pretty fucking good right there. Cena asks for forgiveness from the fans. He realizes now he's been more of a product than a person, especially for the last few months. He just desperately wanted to be the guy that people kept telling him that he was. He's sorry. He's sorry to that kid in particular, and points to the same kid that he called out when he first turned heel. They fly him in special, and he's going to honor his promise. In December, he is going to have one last match, and he's going to try to go out his way. So, we have a couple ways we could go with this. I have two options. I'm choosing the second one, but the first one would have been John Cena versus Seth Rollins as a last match, and actually have John Cena win a singles match clean for the first time since literally 2018. Seriously, the last time before WrestleMania 41 that John Cena won a singles match was at the Greatest Royal Rumble 7 years ago. Also, the Greatest Royal Rumble was 7 years ago. Fucking hell. My life. I'm so old, and I'm recording this at night because we got building works. It's like 20 past 10. It is past my bedtime and my back hurts. And I'm talking about wrestling. This is like John Cena still fucking wearing shorts in his 50s. Also, it's worth pointing out that Seth Rollins and John Cena was a really good feud when it didn't involve Jon Stewart. So you could run it back, have Cena go out winning a great match. Sounds pretty nice after the year that he's had and year that he put us through. But ultimately, I think he's just had a year of winning. And after everything, his whole career, Cena wins lol. I think John Cena should go out putting over someone who really actually could use it. Seth has main evented multiple WrestleManias. He doesn't need it. Enter Chad Gable, this generation's Kurt Angle, a hyper-talented Olympic dork. And obviously, as we all know, Kurt Angle was Cena's first televised match in WWE, so I just couldn't resist running Gable with Kurt in his corner as Cena's last. Hopefully a year of being coached by Kurt, publicly associated with Kurt Angle, beating Gunther at SummerSlam and winning Money in the Bank have prepped fans for Gable's ascension, and that's what leads into this challenge. Gable reveals that in actual fact, he's cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase to secure this final match with John Cena because that is more precious to him than any title. Cena smiles, asks, why does Gable think he deserves a match with John Cena? And Gable responds, ruthless aggression. That is the title of the final pay-per-view of the year. It's got Roman versus Drew, Punk versus Bron Breakker, Cody versus Rollins, and main evented by John Cena's final match against Chad Gable with Kurt Angle in his corner. Gable wins, officially pushing him into the world title scene. Gable shakes Cena's hand, Kurt raises his arm, and then they leave to let Cena cut a promo and say goodbye to the WWE Universe. As I've just seen, there comes a time when you can't do it anymore, and there's time to say goodbye. And I at least get to say goodbye having wrestled the match on my own terms. Leading us to WrestleMania, where Gable goes on to face Bron Breakker for the world title. You have CM Punk versus Gunther, Drew versus Cody versus Rollins, and hey, maybe, just fucking maybe, Rock versus Roman, if The Rock ever wants to stop punishing us for not letting him do the match at Mania 40. And so that is how I would book John Cena's retirement tour from Mania through the summer of Cena to his final redemption. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to see more bookings or maybe even commission one yourself, visit my Patreon at patreon.com/Adam Blampied. I've been Adam. Welcome to Blumpco. Get back to work.